There's a SaaS company that took 8 years to hit $25,000 monthly recurring revenue. 8 years. And here's the thing. The founder just repositioned the product, raised the price from $10 to $79, and suddenly it's a 7-figure business. I cannot stop thinking about this.
Happy New Year, everyone! It's Thursday, January 1st, 2026, and we're starting the year with 3 businesses that prove timing isn't everything, positioning is. We're talking about competitive intelligence that actually tells you what to do, not just what's happening. A status page monitor that became essential infrastructure, and a free summit that attracted 40,000 people over a weekend.
Plus, our trend analysis on why boring infrastructure plays are about to have their moment in 2026. Let's dive in. Okay, idea 1. Competitive intelligence platforms. And I know what you're thinking. Alex, this space is crowded. You're right, but here's what everyone's missing.
Most competitive intelligence tools are just glorified web scrapers. They tell you your competitor changed their pricing page or launched a new feature. Cool. What do I do with that information?
Exactly. So there's this shift happening right now today in January 2026 where founders are realizing they don't need more data. They need recommendations. They need someone to say, your competitor just dropped their enterprise tier by 20%. Here are 3 specific responses you should consider.
Talk about the company from Trends that illustrated this perfectly.
So this founder spent 8 years building what they thought was a competitive intelligence platform. 8 years to get to $25,000 monthly recurring revenue. Think about that. That's barely $300,000 annual recurring revenue after nearly a decade of work.
What was the problem?
They were selling data, just pure data. Here's what your competitors are doing. And founders would look at it and go, okay, now what? The insight gap was killing them.
So what changed?
They pivoted to actionable intelligence. Instead of saying competitor A updated their pricing, the platform now says, competitor A reduced their mid-tier price by 18%. Based on your current positioning, you have 3 options. Undercut them by 5% to capture price-sensitive customers, hold your price, and emphasize your superior features, X and Y, or introduce a new tier between your current offerings.
That's completely different. That's a product a VP of product or a founder would pay real money for.
And here's why this matters right now. In 2026, we're seeing AI models get good enough to actually make these recommendations reliably. 6 months ago, you'd need a team of analysts. Today, you can use Claude or GPT with the right prompting and context, and it'll give you legitimately useful strategic recommendations.
What's the actual business model here?
Subscription SaaS. They're offering a free trial to get people hooked, then converting them to monthly plans. And because this is moving from nice to have to essential strategic tool, you can charge real money. We're talking anywhere from $99 a month for solo founders to $999 a month for teams that need to monitor multiple competitors across different products.
Who's the perfect customer for this?
SaaS founders and product teams in competitive markets. If you're in a space where competitors are constantly launching features, changing pricing, updating positioning, you need this. B2B SaaS especially, those markets where every quarter someone's trying to eat your lunch.
What would it take to build this today?
Here's what's wild. The infrastructure is so much easier now. You need web scraping, which you can do with tools like Shopify or Bright Data. You need change detection, which services like Visual Ping already handle. Then you layer on AI for the analysis and recommendations.
So you're basically building the integration layer and the recommendation engine.
Exactly. You could have an MVP in 6 weeks. Week 1, you identify your targeted competitors and what changes matter, pricing pages, feature pages, case studies, blog posts, announcing new capabilities. Week 2, you set up the scraping and monitoring. Week 3 and 4, you build the AI prompts that generate recommendations based on detected changes. Week 5, you package it in a simple dashboard. Week 6, you get it in front of 10 potential customers for feedback.
What's the acquisition strategy?
You go where SaaS founders already are. Write a detailed post on Indie Hackers about how you're using AI to monitor your competitors. Create a free tool that tracks one competitor for free, unlimited competitors for paid. Run LinkedIn ads targeting VP of product and head of product at Series A and Series B companies. Those are the people with budget and immediate need.
I like this because it's not trying to boil the ocean. You're not building a comprehensive market intelligence platform. You're building, competitor does something, here's what you should do about it.
And that narrow focus is exactly why it works. The companies that struggled for 8 years were trying to be everything: dashboard of data, market trends, industry analysis. The companies that'll win in 2026 are the ones that say, we do one thing exceptionally well.
All right, idea 2. And this one is a masterclass in positioning. We're talking about status page aggregators.
Okay, so first, what's a status page? When Amazon Web Services goes down, they update status.aws.amazon.com to tell everyone what's broken. Same with Stripe, Twilio, every major service. It's how they communicate outages.
And if your business depends on 15 different services, you've got 15 different status pages to check when something goes wrong.
Right, so the obvious solution is build an aggregator. One dashboard showing all your critical services, check one place instead of 15. Simple.
But here's where it gets interesting. The founder we're looking at from Trends built exactly that. A status page aggregator, clean interface, easy to use. They charged $10 a month, and it took them 8 years to get to $25,000 monthly recurring revenue.
8 years, that's 250 paying customers at $10 each. After 8 years of work, that's brutal.
So, what changed? How did they go from barely surviving to 7 figures annual recurring revenue?
2 things. First, repositioning. Second, pricing, but the repositioning is the genius move here.
They stopped calling it a status page aggregator. That's a vitamin. It's nice to have. It's convenient, but it's not essential.
Instead, they repositioned as early outage alerts. Now it's a painkiller. Now it's, we'll tell you Stripe is having issues before your customers start complaining. We'll notify you that AWS is degraded before your app goes down.
That's completely different value proposition.
Completely different. And here's the tactical brilliance. They started scraping not just the status pages, but the underlying API responses. But they could detect degraded performance before the company even updated their status page. They were giving you a 5 to 15 minute head start.
That's when they raised the price from $10 to $79 a month.
And everyone paid it, because now it's not convenient dashboard. Now it's, this tool saved us from angry customers and prevented a major incident.
Let's talk numbers because they're incredible. At $10 a month, 8 years, $25,000 monthly recurring revenue. That's $300,000 annual recurring revenue. After they repositioned and repriced, within 18 months they hit 7 figures.
7 figures. That's at least $1 million annual recurring revenue. At $79 a month, that's over 1,000 paying customers. They more than quadrupled their customer base while charging 8 times more.
What's the lesson here for anyone building in 2026?
Positioning beats features. They didn't rebuild the product. They didn't add some revolutionary new capability. They changed how they talked about what it does and who it's for.
And they charged what it's actually worth to the customer. $10 a month is, I guess I'll try it. $79 a month is, this is a business tool I depend on.
Let's talk about why this opportunity is bigger today than ever. As of January 2026, the average company uses 37 different cloud services. That number was 22 just 3 years ago. Every company is increasingly dependent on external infrastructure.
And when one of those services goes down, it cascades. Your payment processor goes down, your checkout breaks, your email service has issues, your onboarding stops, your hosting provider has latency, your app feels slow.
So who needs this today? Any company doing over $50,000 a month in revenue that depends on multiple external services, e-commerce companies using Shopify, Stripe, Klaviyo, and ShipStation, SaaS companies using AWS, Stripe, SendGrid, and Twilio. Agencies managing client infrastructure across dozens of services.
What would it take to build this?
You could build an MVP in 4 weeks. Week 1. Identify the top 50 services businesses depend on. AWS, Google Cloud, Stripe, Shopify, the obvious ones. Week 2. Build scrapers for each status page. You can use Puppeteer or Playwright for this. Week 3. Build the alert system. email, Slack, SMS for urgent issues. Week 4, create a simple dashboard showing current status of all monitored services. Then you launch with a very specific pitch. Are you tired of finding out your payment processor is down from angry customers? Get alerts before they do.
What's the pricing strategy?
Don't make their mistake. Don't charge $10. Start at $49 a month for monitoring up to 10 services, $79 for up to 25 services, $149 for unlimited with advanced features like API monitoring and custom integrations. And here's a tactical move. Offer annual plans at a discount, $999 a year instead of 12 times $79. That's $189 in savings, and you get cash flow upfront.
How do you acquire customers?
Content marketing to DevOps and infrastructure people. Write the definitive guide to monitoring third-party dependencies. Create a free status page that shows the current status of the top 20 services any developer can bookmark. That's your top of funnel. Then you run ads on dev podcasts and newsletters. Sponsor Changelog, sponsor Software Engineering Daily. Those audiences are exactly who needs this.
You could also do partnership deals with the services themselves. Stripe doesn't want their outages to surprise their customers' customers. Partner with them to offer your monitoring as a recommended tool.
I love that angle. This is one of those businesses that seems boring until you realize how essential it is. And essential boring infrastructure, that's where real money gets made.
Okay, idea 3. And this one's completely different. We're talking about free online summit events.
So this comes from the My First Million podcast. They profiled someone running a free annual goal-setting summit. And when I say summit, I mean a structured multi-day event happening online over a weekend.
40,000 people attended. 40,000!
40,000 people spent their weekend doing goal-setting exercises, watching presentations, participating in workshops, for free. And before you think that's not a business, hold on.
Because the summit isn't the business. The summit is the top of the funnel for everything else.
Exactly. Let's break down what's actually happening here. You create a free event focused on something people already want to do, set goals for the new year. You bring in speakers who are experts, authors, productivity people. You structure it so people get genuine value.
Then during the event, you naturally mention your book about goal setting. You mention your planning course. You mention your productivity planner that's for sale. You're not hard selling, but 40,000 people now know these products exist.
And here's the key insight. If just 1% of attendees buy something, that's 400 people. If your average product costs $50, that's $20,000 in revenue from one weekend event.
But the real value is the email list. You now have 40,000 people who raised their hand and said, I care about goals and productivity. That's an incredibly valuable audience for anything in the self-improvement, productivity, or business space.
Let's talk about why this works in January 2026 specifically. First, we're at the beginning of the year. People are thinking about goals, resolutions, fresh starts. The timing is perfect.
Second, online events have completely normalized. 3 years ago, you'd struggle to get people to attend something that's only virtual. Today, people prefer it. No travel, no hotels, attend from your couch.
Third, the tools for running these are incredibly accessible now. You don't need a custom platform. You can run the whole thing on Zoom, Crowdcast, or Hopin, registration through Eventbrite, or even just a Typeform feeding into your email list.
So, who should be thinking about this model in 2026?
Anyone with an audience and expertise in a specific area. If you're a fitness coach, run a free transformation challenge summit. If you're a marketing consultant, run a free growth strategy summit. If you're in finance, run a free financial planning summit.
The key is picking a topic where people actually want to invest time. Goal setting works because people are already planning to think about their goals. What else fits that criteria?
Career transitions, health and wellness at the new year. Financial planning for the new year, productivity systems, relationship improvement if you time it around Valentine's. Basically anything where there's a natural moment people are already thinking about change.
Let's get tactical. How do you actually build and launch a summit in time for, say, a March or April event?
Month 1, which could be January. Define your topic and ideal attendee. This is for people who want to advance their career but feel stuck. Decide on your event structure. Will it be 3 hours on Saturday, spread across a weekend, multiple sessions people can choose from?
Month 2, line up speakers. Reach out to 10 to 15 people who have expertise and ideally their own audiences. Offer them a chance to pitch their products to attendees. That's how you get yeses without paying speaker fees.
Month 3. Build your registration page. This can be a simple card site or a landing page on your existing website. The key elements: what they'll learn, who's speaking, when it's happening, and a big email capture form.
Then you spend the last 3 to 4 weeks promoting. Email your existing list if you have one. Post in relevant communities. Get your speakers to promote to their audiences. Run Facebook or Instagram ads if you have budget. Even $50 a day for 2 weeks can get you hundreds of registrations.
Day of the event. Deliver massive value. Don't make it a sales pitch. Make it genuinely useful. But naturally mention your products when relevant. We go deeper into this framework in my course, or I have a template for this in my book.
After the event, follow up with all attendees. Send them a recap, thank them for attending. Offer a special discount on your products for the next 48 hours. That's when you'll see the biggest sales spike.
And here's a ninja move: record everything. Now you have content for the next 12 months. Clip it into YouTube videos, turn insights into blog posts, use quotes for social media. One event becomes 50 pieces of content.
What's the revenue potential here realistically?
Let's be conservative. Say you get 2,000 attendees for your first event. That's very doable if you have even a small existing audience or you spend $300 on ads. If 2% buy something at an average of $75, that's $3,000. But the bigger play is year 2. Those 2,000 people are now on your list. Your event becomes annual. By year 3, you're at 5,000 to 10,000 attendees because previous attendees come back and bring friends. Now you're looking at $10,000 to $20,000 per event, plus ongoing product sales to that list throughout the year.
This is also a great way to launch a course or membership. Run the free summit first, prove the value, then say, if you want to go deeper, I'm opening enrollment to my 6-week implementation program. You'll have people ready to buy because they just experienced your teaching style.
The risk here is putting in all this work and nobody shows up. How do you mitigate that?
Start small and test interest. Before you commit to a full summit, run a free webinar or workshop. If you can get 100 people to show up for 90 minutes, you can probably get 1,000 to register for a weekend event.
Also, partner with people. If you don't have an audience yet, find 3 or 4 other people in your space and co-host the summit. You all promote to your combined audiences. Everyone wins.
I really like this model for 2026 because it's simultaneously generous and strategic. You're giving away real value, building an audience, and creating natural opportunities to sell your products. It's the opposite of a hard sell, but it works.
All right, trend analysis time. Let's connect these 3 ideas and talk about what we're seeing in the market right now, January 1st, 2026.
The thread through all of these is boring infrastructure and useful tools are having a moment again. We spent the last 2 years in hype cycle chaos. AI agents, crypto resurgence, everyone chasing the shiny new thing.
And now we're seeing founders come back to, what do businesses actually need? What would someone pay money for this month? The competitive intelligence platform, the status page monitor, even the goal setting summit. These aren't sexy. They're useful.
Let's talk market signals. First signal, enterprise software budgets are getting scrutinized harder than ever. Companies are cutting tools that are nice to have and doubling down on tools that prevent disasters or drive revenue.
Second signal, we're seeing the AI dividend hit. Companies that spent the last year implementing AI are now seeing actual efficiency gains. That means they need fewer people, which means the remaining people need better tools to do more. The competitive intelligence platform is a perfect example. One person with AI-powered recommendations can do what used to take a 3-person market research team.
Third signal, infrastructure complexity keeps growing. The average company is now using 37 different cloud services. 3 years ago, it was 22. That fragmentation creates opportunities for anyone who can simplify, monitor, or integrate across those services.
Here's what this means for opportunities in 2026. If you can build something that either prevents a disaster or automates a manual process that's eating time, you can charge real money and grow fast.
Tools that prevent disasters, status monitoring, security monitoring, compliance tracking, backup and recovery. These are all painkiller categories where you can charge $79 to $299 a month, and companies will pay it happily.
Tools that automate manual processes, competitive research, data entry, report generation, customer research. If someone is spending 5 hours a week on something repetitive, sell them a tool that does it in 5 minutes.
And then there's the audience building opportunity. The summit model works because people are craving structured, valuable content in a sea of noise. If you can cut through the noise and deliver real value, people will pay attention and eventually buy from you.
The meta trend is useful beats clever. In 2026, you don't need a revolutionary idea. You need to solve a specific problem well for a defined audience and charge what it's worth.
That's actually really encouraging. For anyone starting this year, you don't need to invent something world-changing. You need to find a problem that's annoying enough people and solve it better than the current solutions.
And the bar for better isn't even that high. The status page companies succeeded just by changing their positioning and charging more. They didn't rebuild the product. That's the opportunity.
All right, let's wrap this up. It's January 1st, 2026. New year, new opportunities.
If you're thinking about competitive intelligence, go talk to 5 SaaS founders this week. Ask them how they track competitors today. Ask them what they wish they knew. You'll find the gap between data and actionable recommendations immediately.
If you're drawn to the infrastructure monitoring play, start with the free tool approach. Build a simple status page that tracks the top 20 services. Get that in front of developers and see if they bookmark it. If they do, you've validated the problem.
And if you're thinking about the summit model, pick your topic this week. Reach out to potential speakers next week. Set a date for 8 to 10 weeks from now. You can launch a small, valuable event faster than you think.
Remember, these aren't massive swings. These are singles and doubles that actually generate revenue. And sometimes the singles and doubles turn into home runs once you figure out positioning and pricing.
We'll be back tomorrow with Friday's Deep Dive, where we're going deep on one idea with a full playbook you can implement.
If you want the sources for today's ideas, they're in the show notes. We pulled from trends.vc and My First Million.
Happy New Year, everyone. Go build something useful.